Welcome back to Amplified. While conservatives are going in on how race and discrimination is taught in the classroom, passing anti-critical race theory laws and introducing bills that aim to whitewash and even erase important aspects of American history, many teachers are pushing back, finding new and exciting ways to preserve the beauty and resilience that is Black culture. One teacher from Illinois turned to TikTok to educate his followers throughout Black History Month about trailblazers like Paul Cuff, Bessie Smith, and Ida B. Wells. Take a listen.
Yo, Ida B. Wells was a G. Let me explain why. For one, she devoted her life to exposing lynchings after her friends were murdered for having a very successful grocery store that was right next to a white man's grocery store. The second thing, she got kicked off a train because she refused to give up her seat to a white person, and she sued and won at least one of those cases. And lastly, Ida B. Wells is such a G because she joined the feminist movement for voting rights, and she called out those white women and said, look, y'all need to be concerned with racism and lynchings too.
With over 260,000 followers and more than 4 million likes, TikTok star Ernest Crim III has been sending out videos every day for his 28 G's of Black History series, hoping to provide quick facts and give more context to the historical figures who paved the way for the rest of us. Ernest Crim III joins me now. He's a teacher and founder and CEO of Crim's Cultural Consulting, LLC. Welcome. It is so good to have you. I used to think I was a G, but after I saw that, I can't call myself a G, but I'm going to call you a G. Okay.
You definitely
Listen,
are.
tell me why. I'm trying. Listen, how did you decide on this concept of G's to highlight these great figures in our history?
Well, you know what's interesting? That was actually my very first TikTok. So I did a duet this month and kind of remixed it. To me, it was when you study our history, like it's inspiring. You can't help to just be motivated to want to do something great. So when I was creating my first TikTok, it was actually on the day in which Ida B. Wells had passed away and became an ancestor. And just studying more in depth about her life, I just was motivated. And to me, it was like we call, people gangsters and G's and, for doing a lot of, just stuff that doesn't really serve our community. And to me, what she was doing was inspiring and uplifting. So I just wanted to take that term that we sometimes have a negative connotation with and associate it with her, because to me, it's uplifting. And she defied the times and she did something that was truly gangster and worthy of being acknowledged, in my opinion.
Okay, this whole concept is G. It's gangster. I got to tell you, in a good way, not a bad way,
Oh,
obviously.
yeah. Oh, definitely.
But listen, TikTok, first of all, I can't even believe that your first TikTok went viral like that. So you got to make sure this goes viral, by the way. Okay. But
Yes,
listen,
indeed.
why did you choose TikTok to be the platform to appeal to others?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I want people to know I have been creating content since 2016 after I dealt with the hate crime. It was my way to communicate with people, inspiring messages that helped me push through difficult times. I navigated between Facebook and Instagram, and I had a pretty decent following, nothing big, maybe like 4 or 5 thousand. And I was just always trying to find different ways to reach my audience. And being a teacher, you find out like kids are jumping on to different things every week, Snapchat, Instagram, whatever. So I decided to go on there because I felt it was a way to reach a different audience. And my first priority is reaching my community. And I also saw some teachers who have been using it in a transformative way on Instagram. So I said, you know what, let me check it out. And also I saw a station that had a story talking about Black creators. So I wanted to go in there, infiltrate, and make sure our history was uplifted on that platform the proper way.
Okay, so I got to go back to something you said. Because you made headlines before in the past. You were harassed by a white woman who hurled racist obscenities at you and your wife during a festival. I want you to talk about that because she was sentenced to 90 days in jail on hate crime charges. But obviously you took a lot away from that experience. You just mentioned it, how it affected you. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, I want people to understand that when I was in college, I almost flunked out, and then I began to take Black History courses, and that was the first time I would say Black History saved my life. It just gave me inspiration, and that's when I decided I wanted to go into teaching. Now, the thing was, I was kind of a shy guy, so I had to come out of my shell and be comfortable speaking in front of people. So I started doing that, and what happened was, over the course of time, I was, I guess you would say an activist in the class. I was teaching great things, but I wasn't using my voice outside of the classroom. When this incident happened in 2016 and she berated us because we took a bean bag that we thought she was done with and she started calling us the N-word and I began to record it, and she eventually spat on us. I posted it online because I wanted justice for my wife and my family and my community. But when that happened, I realized that what do I have to lose? I'm just going to put it all out on the table because I'm giving some good information to my students, and I think other people can benefit from this. And I know other children like us are hurting as well, and they need somebody to give them these facts to let them know that nothing's wrong with you, but something did happen to you.
That is so inspiring. And you know, it's really great you're doing this at a time when a movement against teaching about race and culture has evolved into an unholy mess. What's your advice for other teachers, especially in states that propose laws to limit discussions about race and discrimination? How can they find a way, a workaround, or bypass the restrictions?
Great question. I would say first and foremost, look at the laws and see if there's some wiggle room. Because for a lot of these cases, if you cite news stories, I mean, you're just stating facts. And I think that's not promoted enough. But also, too, and I want to be very clear, I teach because I have a purpose. My purpose is my community. My purpose is us. Teaching is a medium, teaching is a vehicle. So my purpose is our children, to help them and remind them how great they are. Um, I don't do this because of the teaching job. So you have to reevaluate just why you're doing it and just teach the truth. I think we have to understand that what Rosa Parks did was against the law. And it seems so trivial because it is. It was a bus, right? Ida B. Wells did the exact same thing. So do what's right and do what's for our kids. And I think at the end of the day, you'll pay off. It'll be a payoff at the end.
So, what do your students think about you being a TikTok star and doing this?
So it was kind of funny because I started doing it during remote learning. So I never said anything to my kids, but all of a sudden I had kids logging on to Zoom. Then they would start showing their faces like, "Yo, Mr. Crim, you got a TikTok?" So that was kind of funny. And then when I came back from from over the summer, the following kept growing, and I would have kids in the hall like staring at me and just talking to me and saying they like my videos. But when I'm in the classroom, I reference them sometimes, but I'm there, so we talk about it. But I feel like that's my family. So it's almost like when I'm at home, I'm just dad. When I'm in the class, I'm just Mr. Crim. So they don't say anything directly. Sometimes they'll pull me to the side, like, "Mr. Crim, like, bro, did you see how many views you had?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I just posted and leave though, so I don't know."
They must be going crazy for you. You're really onto something, though. Now that I think about this, let's face it, how many kids are really paying close attention in history class? Hopefully they are, but let's face it, kids are kids, but they're going to watch TikTok videos, so you're reaching them. So actually, maybe this is having a better effect than teaching it in the classrooms. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, Laverne, check this out. So my kids, if they're not paying attention to me, right, and they take out their phone and they go on TikTok, I'm gonna be on their For You page. So they just can't deny me. They can't ignore me. And I think we have to be very deliberate. We cannot fight this battle against phones. We're gonna lose every time. So we have to meet kids where they are. To be quite honest, these phones are more entertaining than us. They do a lot more. I can't have captions popping up while I'm teaching. So we need to meet these kids where they are and use it because they're going to use it anyway. And TikTok started off, I think, as a dance app. So now we're using it for education and we're using it to change our reality. And I think that's the great thing about it.
Listen, that is amazing. Using that for education because we know how much trouble social media can be, but you found a way to educate, which is amazing. Like I said, I really think you're onto something. So, here we are in Black History Month. It just doesn't end in February. What are you going to do beyond these 28 days?
Well, after the 28th day, I think I'm gonna take a little break because being honest, I do a lot of speaking. I'm, lesson planning, teaching every day. People don't realize I'm actually researching these videos every day before I post them. So a lot of work goes into them. So I'm gonna take a break, maybe for a day, but then I'm gonna hop right back on it because it's Women's History Month. So we have to continue to elevate our Black women. And I'm just gonna do this all day, all year round. This is not just a 1 month thing for me. I realized that for me, it gave me pride, it gave me hope to understand and realize what our ancestors went through. So I know I'm that hope for kids. I've had kids tell me that personally. I've had kids tell me I gave them pride, helped them get through chemo because of my videos. So I can't stop.
No, please don't stop. What you're doing is amazing. I hope you can enlist more teachers to do this. I hope that you continue to go viral. I hope that kids continue to watch you. I mean, like I said, I can't even express how amazed I think this is, how amazing this is, what you're doing. So, Ernest, thank you so much for joining us. Ernest Crim III, we appreciate you being here on Amplified.